I am also, with many of my colleagues here, rising to ask for a no on this amendment. I grew up in rural Missouri. My father is Black, my mother is white. My father grew up in segregated Baltimore, a deeply segregated city, very similar to Seattle, where I live now with my children, which was also deeply segregated when my father would have been a child in the 40s and 50s. Washington State is a state that values education. Over half of the money that we raise from our neighbors goes to education. Our very Constitution says that our highest priority is our common schools, the public spaces that our children learn in, where our communities gather, and when we teach. I know for a state that esteems education in that way, it is important for those who educate our children to be educated as well. This amendment would have us be ahistorical in the way that we talk about that history. I too agree that we do not blame individuals for what we live in, but we have to acknowledge that it is the systems that we live in which are racist and sexist and homophobic and ableist. And our education systems are not immune to these things. And our educators cannot be immune to finding comfort discussing these things by being better educated in them. My lived experience as a person whose father was Black and mother was white was in a rural community where I was called the N-word every day. I was told Native American people did not exist anymore and did not get that rectified until I had the pleasure of moving to the state of Washington. I was told a lot of misinformation as a child about sexism and racism. I'm not alone in that experience. Washington State had almost 22 Indigenous children sent to schools that were supposed to keep the man and kill the Indian. We have segregation in our systems. The UW has half as many female bathrooms as male because of how many years it took of fighting to even have women have access to that state university. The reason for this education and the reason we talk about these things is so we can overcome them together.
The lady has 30 seconds remaining. Please conclude.
I know you, Speaker, like me and my colleagues, stand for justice and liberty and for us to talk about things with truth and candor. And for all those reasons, I ask for a no vote today.